When men understand women, they immediately stop loving them. When men understand women, they immediately stop loving them. Today's video comes from Man Guide. His channel will be linked in the description. Guys, when men finally understand how women think, how they operate, what they actually want, men stop loving them. Watch it in the video to fully understand the reasons why men stop loving women once they understand women, once they truly figure them out. And guys, before we begin, just want to remind you to go and join the Angry Guy Clubhouse to get exclusive insights, community support, and the free copy of our Digital Nomad Blueprint. You can click the link in the description to get started with that. And now let's just go ahead and jump into the video. Man Guy's channel is linked in the description so you can go and check him out and support his content.
I'm just so fucking sick and tired of not having a fat ass. Is that?
I'm a 40-year-old dermatologist, and this filter is an accurate depiction of aging. You notice as time goes on that the folds underneath the eyes become deeper, the nasolabial folds become deeper, there's discoloration.
Girls who cheat will always say these things. Have you ever been cheated on? Would it have been nice if you saw it coming? The good news is women who cheat will often give themselves away with passive little clues. So watch out for these signs. Number 1, she often says, I wouldn't consider that cheating, I guess. If she has some pretty thin lines drawn in the sand, be sure that she's going to rationalize any of her behaviors that she's going to engage in when you're not around. Number 2, my day was fine. Suddenly, you no longer talk and she pushes you away when you ask how she's doing.
I just want to tell you guys, and of course, a woman who's telling you how women cheat is a woman who's also cheated. One of the biggest signs of a woman saying that, you know, hey, one of the ways of knowing that a woman's cheating is when she offers you a guilt-free pass. So when she says, hey, I'll give you a guilt-free pass to go and sleep with anyone that you want to. That's a part of her conscience, and that's also a part of her trying to absolve away the fact that she's been cheating on you. And not just cheating on you with one person, but with multiple people. And to make matters worse, she also wants to continue cheating. So now she's creating an open relationship. So she can turn around and say, well, you know, I gave you a pass so that we would have an open marriage. You know, you can go and be with who you want to be with, and I would be with who I want to be with. This is how she'll rationalize it in her head. And of course, she won't say this to you, but this is how she's thinking. I've told you guys, for example, a woman plans her divorce before she even plans her wedding. She's factoring how much money she can take out of that marriage. She's looking at the alimony. She's looking at all of these things. You are nothing more than a long-term trick for her.
Likely doesn't want to share it with you because she could be sharing it with someone else already.
You are already falling in love with me.
I'm gonna make you wish you were dead. Poor guy.
Hey, babe.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried Five Guys?
At the same time or at different times?
I'm talking about the freaking food, woman.
Oh.
And that's what today's video is about, why you shouldn't marry a 304, and unfortunately, most blue-pilled guys make this fatal mistake and find out the hard way. The Five Guys joke has a lot of truth to it when it comes to modern women. You know, females who went to college and slept around, but even before that lost their virginity in their teens. That's the average female experience in today's feminist West. And so, the title of the post on Reddit is, I cheated on my husband when I was young and selfish, I grew up and fell in love with him for real. Always blaming it on something else like age. She's acting like a toddler who didn't know the difference from right and wrong. She was a full-grown adult. But it brings up another famous saying, which says, women grow old but they never grow up. This happens when they lose their virginity before 18, like in middle school, which stunts their mental growth, causing them to be a middle schooler stuck in an adult's body. And they usually don't find mature until they hit the wall and they have to mature out of necessity to find a man. When they stop getting attention from men, especially the top 10% men, then they finally also start to value the other qualities in men besides muscle, tats, and a square jaw. Let's get balls deep into the post. It starts off, I have been lurking around these subs for a long time and finally decided to create an account to share my story. I got married at 23 to a man that was marriage material. He was cute, smart, funny, and kind. He was very mature for his age and had just started a really good career. He was a catch, so even at 23, I married him because I thought I loved him. So it sounds like she married him because of what he had to offer. He's unfortunately the beta bucks of the equation, and she did it so young that it fooled him. Usually, women at the age of 30 will settle for a guy they're not attracted to because he provides her a softer life. Because by then, the strong and independent boss lady career lifestyle ain't fun anymore, and they don't want to do that for 50 more years. And apparently, she didn't love him because she committed the biggest relationship sin ever.
A woman's dual mating strategy explained as if you're a fifth grader. Women care a lot about their offspring and being able to bear healthy children. So what they're going to seek after are the most favorable genetics in order for that to happen. Usually this guy is very handsome, very tall, very strong, and has good genetics himself, so that when they breed children, it's a genetically superior child. However, at the same time, a lot of women actually care about resources, the ability to provide, and living a comfortable lifestyle. So that means you gotta have money too. But the issue is, not every guy can have both. So what do? In their teenage years, early 20s, mid 20s, and sometimes late 20s, they'll have fun with the superior genetic guy who may or may not also give them a child. But point is, this guy doesn't necessarily provide the resources. However, he does provide the good genetics, and she'll try to have a kid with him. But his issue is that he doesn't have the ability to provide for whatever reason. So what does she do? She kind of goes away from him. This is more after she has had children and or in her late 20s to early 30s. She'll find a nice guy who can provide and protect and provide resources for her and her children who may be from the other guy. Also, I forgot to mention the genetically superior guy may or may not have given this woman a commitment or a relationship that she also strives for. Now the woman is in her 30s living her life with her provider, the resourceful guy who doesn't necessarily have the good genetics, but he's a good guy. He looks after her kids, he provides her resources, but deep down inside, she still craves for that genetically superior guy or the alpha guy she views. This dual mating strategy is called alpha fucks and beta bucks, or alpha smash, beta cash.
Fast forward 3 years, and we have a 2-year-old and a 6-month-old child, and I am going through some postpartum when I am invited to go out with a college friend that was back in town. All my friends were still single at the time, by the way. And that's a black flag, because they're going to jeopardize her relationship just by having different lifestyles.
Let me make this very, very clear. The very prospect of going out with her college friends, she knows exactly what she's looking for. The woman is not naive. The woman knows that she wants to go out. She wants to find another man to get physically intimate with. She doesn't give a shit about the guy that she's currently with. What she wants is the Chad or the Tyrone or the little Poncho to step in and to, mess around with. Most women do not like the men that they're in relationships with. The guys who are 6 feet tall, the guys with the six-pack, the guys who make above six figures, those are the plan B guys. The men that she actually loves are the broke boys that have actually nothing to offer and everything to gain. Those are the men that she actually wants to spend time with. Also, when we talk about the genetically superior guys, you have to understand that when it comes down to genetic superiority, women are very visual creatures. So they're actually going for men who have very bad traits. These are men who are typically not very intelligent, and they have very low survival factor. Basically, they're barbarians. This is how the fall of Rome occurred, where women began divorcing their husbands through no-fault divorce, running off with gladiators, and eventually men walked away, stopped protecting the empire, stopped creating value in the empire, refused to get married. Fast forward 100 years, the entire empire is basically subsidizing the living of women. They have no military anymore. The kids of Chad and Tyrone have been running wild, and they are of no value. They're not very intelligent men. And barbarians realize the emperor has no clothes. They pillage the empire, and we are plunged into 1,000 years of darkness. There's some idiots. Some idiot came to my comments saying that the Dark Ages never actually occurred, and the Roman Empire was actually split into two, and only part of the Roman Empire fell, but part of the Roman Empire also continued on for like hundreds of years, and so we never really had an actual Dark Age. Guys, these people are sick. I don't know why they're twisted. A lot of you guys have said that it's copium. All right, like there are so many men that are trying to. They don't want other men to understand how women think. They don't want you to. They don't want you to know what history actually says, what actually happened in history. They don't. They are fighting to keep you stupid. They are fighting to keep you ignorant. And I don't know why they're doing this, other than the fact that these are agents of the state. They are part of the state. They are part of the problem. The manosphere is filled with simps because they have nowhere else to go. And a lot of these men are also on copium. You have to understand. There's a ton of men who also absolutely hate men. Agents of the state, simps hate men. They do not like us, and yet they are here because they have nowhere else to go. But they are poisoned. They will poison the well, and they will basically try to play both sides if they can. Okay, they'll mix the truth with lies, and then try to gain favor that way. These are this is the reason why the Spartans were very, very careful about the types of men they allowed to continue operating within their empire. Because if you were a poor character, they were going to pick you out, and you were not going to be around very much longer. This is the big problem that we have right now. What people don't want to accept is that the fact that when it comes to women, women never really change. From the time that they are 12 years old to 72 years old, they are one and the same. Many women never really mature. Their personalities remain the same. And like I said, the streets is always within them. Even at 12 years old, the streets is calling out to them. And if you are not a father who firmly establishes that she is not going to be allowed to live that type of life, and you put the fear of God within her, then she is going to go to the streets eventually. And even then, sometimes she will still turn away from God and embrace the wicked one. Guys, there was a video someone sent over to me, and it basically showed what grandma is doing, that even at 60, 70 years old, grandma is going right back to the streets.
Salute to the MABW team. I'm back with another video. This is the end game, fellas. It's the end game. If older women can't respect themselves on the internet, where does that leave the future? Real talk. They literally let people come on the internet and do anything. And these women, even in old age, they don't care if they have to embarrass themselves until they head to the grave.
It's not a game. This is actually a video from MABW, and we're going to be looking at grandma and how grandma's behaving. All right? This just shows you that she never really changes. It was just your turn.
The proof is in the pudding. These older women, they will sexualize themselves and embarrass themselves until they actually head to the grave. They got to bring it out no matter what. I don't care if they're 50. I don't care if they're 60. I don't care if they're 70. I don't care if they look like a corpse. I don't care if they look like her, a straight up corpse. They have to some way, somehow get that smut bone out of their body and show off every once in a while. Even if it's your mother, even if it's your grandmother. Some of these women, not all of them, but some of these women just can't put their phone down and not sexualize themselves on the internet. I'm not going to talk anymore. Let's get right into the damn video.
Hiya, today, sir, decided I'd wear this red dress this time. Yes, they're saying I'm not in my 20s. I'm not a teenager. I'm a mature woman. Oh, man. Anyway, thrift store dress, yes. So this is what we got.
I want to remind my men out there, this is somebody's grandmother and great-grandmother, possibly great-great-great-grandmother. This is the grandmother of somebody, right?
I want you guys to notice on her chest, there's actually a tattoo. So if you notice right below her neck, to the right, you guys are seeing by the red of her dress, there is a tattoo. It looks like a mouth. Do you guys see that from what I can tell? All right. They never change. She was never yours. It was just your turn. It was just your turn.
Right here doing this. Let that marinate. Just let it marinate. That's all your boy MABW is saying.
I love red. Red is very romantic.
MABW team, we family. Keep it a buck with your boy. Which one of y'all would take her down on a desperate night? We family, MABW team. Keep it a buck with your boy, MABW. We ain't gotta let the ladies know.
He's right. He's 100% right. There is some simp. One of you know who you are. There's a lot of you. I don't even want you on my channel, but you won't leave because you don't have anywhere else to go. You know who you are. You know that you would get at this. You know you would get at this. All right. You should be ashamed of yourselves. And some of you will say things like, "I will not be shamed." You're nasty. You're nasty. You're nasty. You're nasty. Just because she doesn't respect herself doesn't mean you should not respect her. Give her basic human respect. Even if this is like, listen to me. I don't respect the culture of women. I do not respect their culture. But just because she does not respect herself, she does not respect herself as a human being, does not mean that you should disrespect her like that. All right. This is how, guys, don't like, for a man to go and mess around with this, you have to be out of your damn mind. Oh, she's an adult. She knows what she, bro. You really don't know if the dementia is if the dementia is kicking in or not. I'm just being so honest with you. Okay, you have no business messing around with this. Okay, you need to leave great grandma alone. Leave great grandma alone. Okay.
Which one of you gents gonna take down grandma on a desperate night? Which one of you gents out there is going to give grandma that 2, 3 a.m. in the morning call? Keep it real. Just keep it real with your boy MABW because she wants it. We obviously can see that because if she didn't, she wouldn't be on YouTube auctioning herself off. She wants to get pounded out until she heads to the grave, and she's auctioning herself off right now. She wants one of you to slide in her DMs. Let me give y'all her name because I know there's going to be some of the MABW team that comes up in the comment section and say, what's her at or what's her YouTube channel? Her YouTube channel is called DD Sugar Lips. DEESUGARLIPS. DD Sugar Lips. There's the plug. I know some of you are already going to ask me that because sometimes some of you slip that in there. Maybe you just want to see her channel. Or maybe you might be trying to slide up onto her channel into her DMs. But that's another story for another day. Let's continue with the damn video.
And and there it is right there. I shouldn't be plugging it for you. I shouldn't be giving it to you, but this is her channel. She actually has 32.7 thousand subscribers. She puts this content out there, and I want y'all to see this right here. All right, she has her Cash App in her bio. Cash App in her bio. Fan mail. All right, so she has a mailbox where you can send her stuff. The Sims definitely do. She's had this channel up since 2022. This channel has actually gotten over 5 million views. This is insane. 5 million views, and she's put up a total of 1,376 videos since she's lost this channel. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable, y'all. All right? That's what these Sims have done. These Sims are basically paying for this, all right? Hands down, they are cash apping her. Hands down. This channel is making at least around, I went over to Social Blade, and this channel, just the AdSense for this channel, if she's getting it, would be pulling in around $1,500 to $2,000 a month. So she's pulling in around $20,000, somewhere between $20,000 and $30,000 a year just from this YouTube channel. All right, just from the AdSense on this channel. That's not counting the that's not counting, what do you call it? That's not counting the whatever money she would be getting from Cash App. And then another thing that you have to consider is the fact that she is a YouTube partner. How do I know that she's a YouTube partner? Because yeah, she is receiving AdSense because of the join button. So that means, guys, she doesn't reveal how many, but I guarantee you she has a bunch of Sims that have hit that join button. If we click on the join button, and how much does it cost to join? $14.99 a month. $14.99 a month, all right? Now, most people have different packages, but she's just straight off the bat. Guys, this is basically an OnlyFools page. I'm telling you right now, this is an OnlyFools page, 100%. It's the equivalent of an OnlyFools page There are some sick dudes here who are just here to get their jollies off and watch her humiliate herself. But again, there's a lot of men who are into this type of garbage. And she's tatted up. Grandma is tatted up. And this is what a lot of dudes are absolutely into. This is a sick thing. Imagine if this was your mother, all right? But a lot of you have no humanity. Imagine if this was your mother. Could you imagine having your mother on here? And the sad thing is more and more women are going to be turning to this type of lifestyle, trying to use YouTube and other platforms like this as the economy gets worse, basically trying to, to put this content on there. A lot of women are going to be heading into extreme states of poverty, destitution, hardship, living in their cars, living in shelters, living on the streets, living in the woods. And it's going to, and there's no bailout plan for these women. There's no bailout plan for these women. I talked about this in another one of my videos where right now it's sad, but if you look at the numbers, 45% of Americans who retire at this age will likely run out of money, and the age is 65. But when you scroll down, according to these tools, single female retirees are more likely than couples and single males to run out of cash if they retire at 65. And that's 55% of women. 55% of single females are going to run out of cash at age 65. If they're going to run out of cash if they retire at age 65. That's only 41% for couples, and that's 40% for males. So basically, a woman's best chance of survival is actually being in a relationship with a man. Now, here's the interesting thing, though. If you look at when you look at things like, for example, if there's if you continue working until the age of 70, you have a better chance of surviving. But this is where things get crazy. Single females are still at 36%. So, just under half of all women will still end up running out of money, even if they work all the way to age 70. All right. And then we're not really even talking about the boomers, because the boomers are already ending up homeless. We're talking about Gen X women. We're talking about millennial women, couples at 26%, and then single males at 21%. So if you're a man and you work until 70 years old, then chances are you will not run out of money out in retirement. Guys, this is the truth is that for men, the best move you can make as a man is to never get married and just to stay single. All right. That's the honest to goodness truth. Do not subsidize the living of a woman. Let the state do that. So men are basically looking at a future where they're going to, one way or another, unless the state comes for us, we're going to survive because we have to serve. Men have always had to succeed, or else if we want to survive. Women, on the other hand, have always been able to turn to a man or the state, Sims or the state, to bail them out. But this time it's looking like hell. Women's empowerment has basically flipped it up, and women have pushed men out of society. Men are in hiding right now. Men are hiding away from women because women have pushed men out. Men are basically staying at home, going overseas, basically avoiding Western society. And women, they don't really care until hunger sets in. And when hunger sets in, that's when they're going to that's when a real demonic entity will come out, because you're going to hear them screeching and hollering, basically, and stealing, because they don't like us. And and the truth is, though, without men, women cannot do anything. The state can't do anything without men. Men are the facilitators of everything. Even when you have artificial intelligence, if the state does not have men to control the AI, then the AI will eventually rule over the state itself. That's the funniest thing. Without men, nothing happens. Without men to enforce the will of the state can't do anything. And as more men walk away, the state begins to crumble. You look at the Roman Empire and how the Roman Empire fell apart. Eventually, all men just gave up and walked away. And the emperor had nothing left. The emperor was just using slaves. The entire empire was running on slaves. All right? You had no men who were serving in the military. You had no men who were doing anything. All right? They were just going around capturing slaves, and they were using slaves to be doctors, using slaves to keep the empire afloat and to subsidize women. And they had nothing. Basically, the men gave up, and the emperor called all the men in all single men in the Roman Empire worse than all of the criminals in the Roman Empire, and they punished them very badly. You think that punishing your citizens, and showing how much you hate them because you've created a reality where they're detested and the women are pushing them out and making their lives miserable by punishing them, you're going to get what you want? guys, this it only shows you how much society hated men to begin with, and women basically used manipulation, claiming that they were victims, or they're always victims, to deter to come up with reasons why they need more and more rights. And those aren't rights; they are privileges that can be taken away at any time. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the content, go over and join the Angry Guy Clubhouse to get exclusive insights, community support, and a free digital nomad blueprint. Click the link in the description to get started. What do you guys think regarding all of this? When men understand women, they immediately stop loving them. Let me know what you think, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.